It is funny you say that. When I got to the LPGA, we didn't do the 9 and 9 thing. And you know me, like I don't have the attention span to talk to you for
Yeah,
5 hours. But after
clearly.
2.5 hours, like we've done what
Right.
we came to do. So I said to my
Totally.
team one time, would it be okay if I got to the 10th tee if I dropped back with a group and just switched out with somebody else? And so I started doing that. And then the players said, can we do that? And I said, what do you mean? They said, well, could we play 9 holes and let another player come take our back 9 holes? And I thought, you know what? When I finish playing a pro-am, I really know those players. I follow them probably for the rest of their career. Sometimes
Yeah.
as an amateur, you end up sponsoring them. So we went to this thing called 9 and 9. Every time you play in a pro, I'm going to play 9 holes with one player, another 9 holes with another player. It's funny. I remember one time Tim Fincham saying to me that was a crazy idea, and then 2 years later they were doing
You
it
do the same
on
thing.
the
Yeah.
PGA Tour. But it was you're right. I mean, I always say as a guy who spent most of his life as a sponsor, I've been a check writer most of my life, and then I woke up at an organization asking you to write a check to us, and I remember what it feels like to be a check writer, and then get to the event you sponsored and realize that contractually they probably did what they were supposed to do, but there's nobody there that was in the meeting that talked me into it. And when I see things I didn't like, if they were using the wrong brand or my parking wasn't right for my VIP, there was nobody there to fix it. So I made a commitment that, if I was going to talk somebody into being a title sponsor, I was going to be there when they were a title sponsor, and I was going to make sure that their week was as good as it could be. And you know this pretty well, Rick, but when you're sitting with a sponsor at the week in which they sponsor the event, at some point in that week, they turn to you and say, hey, Mike, what should we be doing to make this event better?
Right.
And they won't say that the other 51 weeks of the year. They go back to their
Right.
real life doing whatever they do for a living. And if you're there when they turn to you and say that, you make that event better because you say, oh, I'm glad you asked, Rick. We got to do 3 things. And right then, they're ready to do them. So if you miss that window, you sort of miss it until the following year.